Looking back on where I've been, empty soul filled with sin, looking for so much more.
My first time coming to The Rock was actually because I had community service that I had to do because I had stolen a little motorcycle clock. It was during Rockin' Summer. I came here and I just really helped pass out sandwiches from what I can remember, and after that I really left The Rock and didn't come back until I guess my junior year in high school. After that I still wasn't a Christian yet, still hadn't made Jesus my personal Lord and Savior, didn't really care much for Jesus at that point in my life. He was kind of the same thing as the Easter Bunny to me. Didn't really get serious about thinking about God in my life until my 6th grade year on a Wednesday night after we played basketball, and I just felt 1,000 bricks just slam on my chest is what it felt like. I realized that Jesus actually loved me, that Jesus dying on the cross wasn't just for the world, but it was actually for Travis individually. And while he was sharing about the cross and what Jesus did for us, I was so impacted by it that I literally raised my hand in the middle of him preaching and said, I need to be saved right now. And so he ended the service and I went outside and accepted God on the spot. And after that I radically was changed. I was in 8th grade. I had a strong pulling from God to be a pastor and to go into the ministry of some sort, and I just had a strong desire to share with people, and we talked through that, and by my freshman year I was actually licensed to the ministry. It was shortly after that, not too much longer after that, that I completely turned and fell away from God, and completely just started running from Him. To the point, it actually started with a girl, started with a relationship, and from there he just kept on going lower and lower on my list of priorities. At the end of it, I was as deep as you can possibly get. I feel like as a high school student into the party life, I was partying every weekend, staying out as late as I possibly could, lying to my parents so I could go to the parties all night, saying I was going to spend the night at a friend's house and things like that. Really, marijuana and things like that, and drinking a lot. That was just part of what I did. And I remember that I had a knee surgery. My knee surgery caused me to have to take hydrocodone, and during that time I really got addicted to that for a while. Was started to buy hydrocodone from other people that I knew were selling it, just so I could get that high, and so I was kind of getting addicted to that, and I was definitely, I would say I was an alcoholic by the time my junior year was in the middle of it. I was drinking pretty heavy. On a weekly basis I would drink 4 to 5 days out of that, and get drunk with my friends who were the popular kids that also play football and things like that, and went to DNOW, continued running from God, and it wasn't until camp that next year that I actually came back to Christ in a really powerful way. That night before, a lot of stuff happened. I was caught drinking outside of my house the night before we left for camp. I do not think that was coincidence. I think that was God getting me ready for what was happening. And it was that next Monday at camp that God slammed on me, and I just knew that I was done, and I knew that that God had really said that it's time to quit running, Travis, and so I came back to Him that time, and from that point on, it was a growth process. I started again, that fire was rekindled, and I surrendered my life to Jesus and started following Him. So I came to Jill, and there was still an opening at that point in time in the summer for being the person who passes out sandwiches and the milk at The Rock during Rockin' Summer. And so she offered me the position. So I just looked for every opportunity I had while I was passing out the sandwiches and the milk, just to share Jesus with these youth that were coming in. That really was a time where I started to really grow as being someone who could minister here, and seeing God use a messed up person like me for His glory. I've seen dozens and dozens, literally dozens and dozens of youth come to Christ right here in this building. One of my other passions was lifting weights. I just always enjoyed working out since I've been young and in middle school even. So I was really wanting to join those two passions together, my passion for working out, my passion for Jesus. And so we started working out at like 10 p.m. 2 or 3 times a week. I would we would work out, and then I would preach a message for 10 to 15 minutes after that. And that summer, actually, I think 5 to 7 people, I can't remember what the number actually was, but 5 to 7 people actually came to Christ, and there was only about 11 of us at most working out on a given time. We decided we were going to start a Bible study, and it was really connected through the Rock in big ways. I remember one of the biggest things that I can see as far as being connected with the Rock is I was able to see all 5 of the Hernandez brothers come to Christ, who are all, most of them, 4 of the 5 of them are still very involved in the Rock. And so that was really, really special for me to be able to see that. And Jill would always bring a van load of kids that would come to eat pizza at her house, and then they would have to hear this white guy talk for about 25-30 minutes about Jesus. We've had drug dealers come there. We had guys that just did not care, that were involved in gangs, that were just there for some free pizza. And we had some people there that were already strong Christians. And it was just really cool what God was doing. And a lot of that came straight from the Rock. On Wednesday nights, there would be a van load of them going to the Bible study. And God really, really moved in big ways there. God really used more of the Rock in me than me in the Rock. God really used the Rock to just as a springboard for my life, and as something that just caused me to grow, I feel like astronomically, because it's as you minister to people that you're going to grow the most. And also, as you minister to the people, you're going to realize that the people are actually ministering to you, and that's kind of what happened to me as I would talk with people, and it just remind me over and over of God's great love and His grace and His mercy in my life, and that there's all kinds of other things that people can do and get involved in and give their lives to, but the things that we do here and the things that God allows us to be a part of and allowed me to be a part of at the Rock, that's eternal. We live for so many things that are temporary, and just that reminder and that amazing thing of seeing people's lives change is you can't trade anything for that.
Jesus, you're making all things new. Come create